What's up, guys? This is External from YouGotHacked.org, and this is the first tutorial of my Linux tutorial series for beginners. This series is going to be based on the assumption that you actually have no Linux background whatsoever. So it's basically going to focus on commands and a little brief overview of what it is and little tricks, tips, things, and shit like that. So let's start by saying, well, what is Linux? Well, it's an operating system developed by Linus Torvalds, I'm sorry. And it's open source, it's popular, and it's actually starting to rise up in the ranks. I think within 10, 20 years, maybe even sooner, it'll be competing with Microsoft. But anyways, the main part of Linux is the kernel, and what the kernel does is it handles files, disks, networking devices, hardware drivers, basically everything. It's the brains of the Linux operating system, and there's different kernels out there. Right now, you could probably be running version 2.6.38, I think. But we'll get around to commands that can help us find that out. Let's see. What else can I say? Linux, most distros or distributions come with programs, file manipulation programs, text editing programs, mathematic programs, audio, video, programming, website, encryption, CD burning, anything. You can get any program for Linux that could be of use to you, and for free. That's the beauty of Linux. It is powerful, it is open source, it is free. It's great. What you're seeing right now is the graphical user environment of an ex-Ubuntu operating system. And Ubuntu is just a distribution based on Debian, and it's probably one of the most easiest and most stable distributions out there that beginners can get a hold on. But I don't know if this looks familiar to you, like a start menu in Windows per se. It has accessories, it has development tools, games, graphics, internet, multimedia, everything that you need. And we're going to get into more in depth with that later on. But that's the graphical user environment. Down here, what you see is I don't know if you've ever been on a MacBook or anything, but it's a launch bar, and that usually doesn't come standard with Ubuntu. I just made that from a program called Cariodoc, which we will also get into. Next thing is where we're going to be doing most of our commands within the command line interface, and where you do that is called the shell. And what the shell is it's an interface for typing commands. It executes them, displays the results, and it is beyond powerful. And when you script with those commands that you use in the shell, it's called shell scripting. I don't know if you're too familiar with DOS and batch scripting, but it's like that, and it's very, very powerful, in my opinion. There are different kinds of shells. Some of them, the Bourne shell, the Corn shell, the C shell, and there's others. But what we're going to be focused on is the bash shell, the Born Again shell, which comes mostly, standard with Linux distributions. So let's actually open up a shell, or a terminal, if you will, and here's what it looks like. This is what a basic Linux command line interface looks like. So what is a command? It's typically a program name. Commands is just like low-level programs, and it is followed by options, arguments, and stuff like that. And what happens is when you type in the command, it'll perform the action of the program. So let's take a basic command, pwd, which stands for print working directory. Now if I hit enter, it says you're in the current directory /home/Rob. That's my name. What's up? And that command is so basic and it's very useful. Like, what if you're deep into the system and you've been changing directories, making directory stuff, and oh, I forgot where I am. pwd. Boom, there you are, /home/Rob. The screen's looking a little bit messy. Here's another command, clear. It just clears the terminal for you. Another basic command, well, let's let's actually touch up on another topic. Let's say users and super users. Linux, root. Root is what controls everything. You have superpower over the system. That is where you can do system-wide changes and stuff that a normal user can do. And what Linux does is it'll make your root user, but it also recommends or forces you to make another user, because you never want to be logged in as root, just for security purposes. Other than that, I think the next tutorial I'm going to show you basic commands for moving around directories, making directories, copying files, deleting directories, your basic movement within the command line interface. This first tutorial was kind of boring, not much visual stuff going on, but I figured I'd just touch upon some topics before we actually get into brass tacks. Alright, well, I hope you guys visit me for my next tutorial. See you later.